Hey, what's up? So, Mr. Beast comes to Africa, comes to Kenya, and does what he does best, which is do a video and make it huge as usual. And I'm like, I'm from Kenya. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. First of all, it humiliates the politicians because our politicians in our country. I need you to understand one thing if you're watching this from the Western side. It's not that there's no money for development. The money is actually there. There's actually money that is allocated to different counties and different parts of the country in order for developments like those to happen. It's only that our politicians are corrupt enough to make them not happen. I need it to be clear. So whatever Mr. Beast did is something that is done in other parts of the county and is supposed to be done in those specific counties. It's only that some politicians from those parts of the countries are so corrupt that those projects don't actually get to happen. Number two, I have no problem with coming to Kenya and Mozambique. Yes, you went to Kenya and a different country, but mention it. It's not Africa. Kenya is not Africa. Yeah, just to be clear, Africa is a continent. Kenya is a country. So when you come to Kenya, you say you came to Kenya, you didn't come to Africa. I think that's it plays into the ignorance of white people, Europeans and Americans, to assume that every country, Africa is actually a country, but it's more or less of a continent. I know it plays into the YouTube algorithm, and yeah, you get more clicks as usual, but it's small details. Number three, the other thing, and this is my biggest concern, and this was one of the reasons that I was watching this video and going like, how was this even allowed? You know, kids, you know, a lot of frames, I could pull out frames from his videos that you've seen if you live in the Western world. For years when people are looking for donations, there is always that image of African children, you know, suffering. And then the picture, the lighting, everything about the picture is made to portray Africans in a certain way. Now, I'm not saying that those images were not accurate. They were accurate. But you need to also understand that these are people from rural side of Kenya. They're not from the they're not like from the cities or anything. These are the rural areas. Yes, you get that people who look like that, but not all Kenyans look like that, all live like that. Just to be clear. So I had a big problem of children being used in this video and how they were utilized in the video, because it's that baiting of the donors, which is, oh look, these poor children who've never had water in their life, or they're drinking dirty water, they need your help. Please help. I understand it's a serious concern and it's a good thing what you did. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It helped people, and if it helped people, no matter what, I'm for it. I'm for it. I may be one of those people who will go like, that was not cool, but I'm for what he did because he actually helped a few people. I hope I'm clear. But my biggest problem was having kids in their video. Why is this important for me? If you want to do a good thing and you're a YouTuber, you're big, go do your thing, show the thing, do not show children. You know why? Because that video is going to live on the internet for the rest of their lives. You know, 30 years from now, if YouTube is still there, they're going to still access that video. You know, and that for me is the ultimate form of exploitation. The money that you're going to get over time by using these children, it's equivalent to exploitation. I don't know if you guys understand me. It's equal to exploitation. Yes, I understand what you're trying to do, but it's one thing to do that and gain more, unless they're doing something for these specific kids. Because I don't think that's supposed to be legal. I don't think that's supposed to be allowed to have a channel whereby you have you're portraying children in a way that pushes you to. It's more of a promo for himself. You know, it makes him look good, and it gain clicks. And if it's a part of donation, which, like for the other country that he went to, that part I totally understood. But my goodness, the white savior syndrome, whereby, oh look, these kids have never eaten ice cream because they don't have electricity. Man, that for me, it's a different African country, yes, but that for me was like, you know, I wouldn't like call it cool and whatever. So let me give you a clear picture of what Mr. Beast did. Let me give you an idea of what exactly he did in my country, specifically for the water projects. What he did is equivalent to going to New York, and then going into an alley, a dark alley, because you have a lot of dark alleys that have a lot of garbage that actually stink, and choosing an alley and going there and painting the whole alley white and getting rid of the garbage, and then saying, I have cleaned the garbage capital of America, which is New York. And I've actually painted this wall light white. I've installed some lights on these particular alleys, and I've solved that problem. Yes, for the people around there, you've solved the problem for them. But that alley is not the representation of the whole country. I don't know if I'm making sense. That alley doesn't stand for what New York is, because there are cooler places in New York. But then he chooses that one specific alley because he knows if he goes to these other places, he's not going to get the click. So by focusing on this small alley and saying, look, we've made this so comfortable, you can actually lick the walls. Guys never used to pass here because of the garbage. Guys never used to pass here because it was dingy. Now people can pass here because there's light and it's bright. And so I have solved the problem of garbage and street thuggery in America. That's equivalent to what he did. And I wish they would have taken more time to do more researches. Rather than, I feel that they were advised by other people who are already in the country, and they chose, I think it's called Iriri specifically, for that particular reason. I think it was handpicked because, my goodness, my country is cool. It's not perfect. We have very corrupt political leaders. And there's actually, in the beginning of the video, I actually said it. There's money put aside for community. It's called CDF, Community Development Fund. The money is supposed to go into building schools. The money is supposed to go into building roads. The money it's supposed to go into building the wells and stuff. Now, here's what I like about his video. It's the fact that he was able to humiliate the leaders of my country, the Kenyan country, because these are things that they're supposed to do for less than even the bridge. These are things that they're supposed to do like in a single week. They have the money to do that. There's money that's allocated to do that. So I really love what Mr. Beast did. I am for it. I'm like, yes, that was perfect. Apart from helping these people, that put a lot of shame on our leaders, and I hope the leaders actually saw this and just. The world is not blind. The world is not going to put a blind eye on their corruption and their inability to actually make stuff happen. I'm not saying all of them, because there are places in my country that this actually happens. They make this shit happen. They make actually developments happen. They have wealth and stuff. So there are counties that actually make that happen. But that was, again, picked for a specific reason to serve the narrative, in quotes. Something else that I thought, wow, this is so petty from Mr. Beast. This county is in a rural area. We have the semi-arid area where they clearly have water problems, but they chose that particular area. Anyway, that's Mr. Beast. I'm not against what he did. I think I'm repeating it for the fourth time. I don't have a problem with what he did. My problem now comes into the image part, because a lot of people watch Mr. Beast's videos. So I don't want there to be an assumption that this is how Kenya looks like. I don't want to have an assumption that this is how Africa looks like, because as much as he used the word Africa, Africa is huge. There are so many cities. There's South Africa to Egypt, to Nigeria, to Morocco, to Ethiopia, to Somalia. It's so diverse. And the moment people see what Mr. Beast did, there's an image now that is connected to what Africa is supposed to be. So everyone will be coming to Africa to enjoy what people call poverty porn. I think it's more of poverty porn, because it's, oh, let's go to Africa and see some poor, struggling people. Oh, let me donate to Africa because I want to make myself feel good. You see? And if you don't understand what I'm talking about when I say image, I want you to think of two things: Superman and Homelander. Homelander is what we know America to be, but in reality, it's Homelander. That's image. That's what image does to a country. So would I have done this video differently? Yes. You know what I would have done with this video? First of all, I could have acknowledged that this is Kenya. Number two, we went to Africa. I like there's a guy who does food reviews. I think it's called best food review ever, because when they go to a country, they don't only focus on, you know, the dingy places or the places that actually have issues. They capture the old city first. They give you an idea, a scenario of where they are. They make you understand where they are. They make sure they make you understand the diversity of where they are. You know, there are rich people, there are super rich people, and there are poor people. That's the way it is. They give you an idea of everything they've done. So if I was to shoot this video for Mr. Beast, I would have first acknowledged that there's a Nairobi, there's a capital city, there's a bustling, there's a beautiful city called Nairobi City, the capital city of Kenya. Then I would have acknowledged that I'm going to Meru, because Nairobi is close to Embu or Meru, it's close to Mount Kenya. And I would acknowledge the scene. First of all, acknowledge the scenery, then acknowledge the challenges that are there, and then solve the problem. That way, people like me wouldn't be here complaining. They would be like, yes, you captured a true representative of the country or the continent. So basically, that's it. That's my rant. I'm not anti Mr. Beast. I think he did a cool thing, but he did some very big mistakes, especially by using children, African children, in their videos. Like, you've seen those images for years. They use the same kind of images to portray Africa. So for me, that was a big problem. But generally, cool stuff. You help people, and that's pretty cool. So basically, that's it. My channel is not about complaining about YouTubers. My channel is about movie reviews. I also talk about pop culture, but this is something that I could not keep quiet about. So basically, that's it. Thanks for watching. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. Please subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one.